beautiful people. Welcome back. So, today we are going to do a recap and a review of Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 12, titled Mic Drop. I must say, I've never laughed so much at this reality show as I've laughed today. I'm telling you, the editing staff and the producers of this episode, oh my God, they have me rolling on the floor. But we gonna get to it. But let's start off the episode. So first we have Karen. Remember, Karen told us that she's putting on a show. We never got the title of the show or what the premise of the show is. We just don't know what it is, but she's putting on a live show. So we have her and Ray go and visit the event space. So they're going to the DC improv space. We see her meet Matt there, and also I'm guessing it's the manager of the spot. And he takes them on a walk and show them, where it's going to be. Look very intimate. I believe it was, you had to go down some steps. So it's in the basement of the building. And they go in and they see the stage, and then the guy excuses himself. So Matt and Karen and Ray sitting at the table talking, and somehow the subject of Grindr comes up. I'm not sure, but Ray did not know what Grindr was, or he pretended not to know. He said all he knows it's a space where Michael went on in Europe and found people. It was just going left. So poor Karen and Matt here looking at him, giggling, and then Karen's like, baby, I'll help you with this when you need it, but we'll do it later. So they talked for a little bit, and then we left them there. Then we go over to Mia and family. We see her and Gordon trying to put the two young kids to bed. And Jacqueline comes over, and they're sitting down talking in the living room. It was a weird conversation between the three of them initially. I'm like, what are they alluding to? You're like, if you watch the episode, I know you felt the same vibe I was feeling. Till finally they got it right, where Mia finally explained to Gordon what was going on. The fact that, they were taking showers together in Miami, and the subject came up of things that they did together as girls. And we have it where Gizelle is asking, did Mia buy Jacqueline her car? And we all know that Mia likes to keep it mysterious. Mia likes to keep everything a mystery. So she wasn't really answering Gizelle, or she was answering in a way where that left you to think that something else could be happening. So they explained all of that to Gordon. And they just talked about it a little bit till I guess, they couldn't really spin it anymore. So Mia ended it with saying that Gizelle and the ladies were asking, like, where will it be my turn with Gordon? Like, he's very generous, so when will it be my turn or something to that? I don't know. But I found that conversation quite weird. Now we have Ashley and her girls. She called them her PYTs, pretty young things. They all went out for drinks and dinner. And then we had Gizelle meeting them up. According to the ladies, that was her initiation to the group. But Gizelle's like, I don't think I want to be a part of this group. I'm just here for the info. So they started talking, and then we have it where we have Ashley's friend telling about how Chris approached her at the spring fling. That I believe it was Karen who had the spring fling. Yeah. Chris approached her at the spring fling, and kudos to the producers. I have to give you all shout outs because you guys squashed that. You made her out to be such a liar. We even had it at the point where we had Ashley going into the confessional saying that she's only known this girl for about a year and a half, but those girls collectively have known each other for years, and she don't think that her friends will lie. Well, girl, your friends lied straight up. We see where Chris is there on his phone. She goes over and introduces herself to Chris. Tell her Chris that her husband's name is Chris also. Then she comes up with the lie talking about Chris says, us Chris's are alike. We usually behave alike. I'm like, Chris is like looking at her like, what? And then she tells about Eddie coming over, calling him Happy Eddie. Eddie came over there to talk to Chris because that's his friend. Girl, you trying to insinuate or put yourself in a place where you don't need to be. You try to make up lie. I'm so happy that, back in the days, the producers probably would have just left it there and let the story run itself out. But now I see they are coming in with the rollbacks. They're showing us everything that's happening and making these ladies out to be liars. So I am so glad that production went in there and did what they had to do. So we left them there talking. Of course, we have Gizelle ready to go run back and tell who she needs to run back and tell it to. Bone carry, as we say. And now we have Wendy and family at home. Oh, Wendy's kids are so cute. And the way they were playing with their dad and telling, like, when Eddie said that he bought the donut for her, and the kids rat him out and said, no, he brought the donut for himself. You see Wendy standing there with a half a donut. I think she was feeding it to her daughter at the time. But the fact that Eddie was talking about he bought her donut, he never even thought of her when he went out, knowing that he should not be eating it. So that was cute to see the family get together. Now Wendy tells Eddie, because she had met with Ashley since the Pretty Young Thing dinner party. She met with Ashley, and Ashley's telling her, this is what my friend said, that Eddie was over there being happy, Eddie, and smiling at her. And Wendy was like, girl, bye. Eddie is happy all the time. He says hi to people, smiles at the people on the street. He even smiles at the dog. I was like, oh God. And then we had Eddie making googly eyes at his daughter. And that was too cute. That was just so cute. All right, so we leave them there. You know, they shrugged it off. Eddie's like, God damn it, I can't even smile no more. Happy Eddie. That's what they're calling me now. I can't even smile no more. But that was funny to watch. They just shrugged it off. Now we have Mia and Gizelle and Robyn meeting for lunch. I guess they couldn't wait to come back at Mia and stuff with everything that was happening. So they're talking about their boys and how their bodies are changing. At least Mia is. She's getting into details about what's going on with her eldest son. And they're eating their salad or whatever. And Gizelle says she's happy she has girls. She just have to deal with that time of the month times 3. So they were just talking about their kids and stuff. Then Gizelle go in there ask us, why didn't you tell us in Miami about you and Peter's girlfriend and you and Gordon? And she was like, what? She's like, God damn it, I ain't telling Karen nothing else. She just running her mouth all over the place. So she's like, I didn't tell y'all because it didn't just come up. She's like, well, we were right there talking about Peter. Why didn't you tell us? She's like, it didn't come up, and it happened on our wedding night. But then she, when she explained what happened, Gizelle was like, no, that's the night before your wedding. So she's like, the girl is cool and everything. You know, at least she was at the time. I don't know what's going on. And then we have Mia try to turn it around. She's like, why don't I tell you why it is that Karen don't like Sharice? And then they stop the scene right there with those 3. So now we have the Day of Karen event. And this is where the producers and the editing team went wild. I guess they had to spruce it up a little bit. But we have Karen arrive at the event space. She's asking, where do I go? Karen, you've been there before. You walk down the step. You've looked at the event space. You know you'll be able to fill it up because it's so intimate. But you've been there before. You're asking them, where do you go? Yes, we're going downstairs. We see Gizelle arrives. Giselle's like, I'm here, even though I don't know what it is. We have one of the guys mistake her for Karen. She's like, I'm not Karen, I'm Gizelle. She's like, y'all can't say I've never been to Karen event. Like, I don't support her because I'm here and I still don't know what it is. So we have everybody arriving. The event was supposed to start at 7:30. Karen had them sitting out there waiting. I'm like, this is crazy. She make them wait on her and she really didn't even do much. So then we have Candiace and her mom arrive. Candiace goes to greet everybody. And then, you know, we have this uncomfortable look on. I don't even remember her friend's name, Ashley's friend. So she has this uncomfortable look on her face, but nobody said nothing to her or Candiace until Robyn came. Robyn came late. Well, she's back on track with her coming in late. So Robyn came late. And then I'm guessing it's the way that the editing team put it. But she leans over to Candiace. She's like, Candiace, you know that's the girl that was talking stuff about your husband. She's like, oh, that's her? Then Candiace goes in the confessional. And she's like, I don't pay attention to Muppet characters, Sesame Street characters. They're Muppets. They're not real. They belong at Sesame Street. And I don't know why. When Candiace said that and I look back at the girl, I'm like, oh my God, she's right. Candiace is something else. She will paint a picture with her words that will cut you down. So, okay, she sits back and she's looking at her and nothing. So we go on with the show now. We see Karen. someone gets introduced. I believe it was a singer. Then we had production say, okay, the budget for the singer is $0. They put it up on the screen. Then we had Karen come on and talk about herself, about everybody being here, and she's so happy that she could do this and whatever. And then they put the time that Karen was on stage, 42 seconds. Then we have Gizelle in the confessional saying, when Karen first came on this show, she introduced herself as the Grand Dame, married to the Black Bill Gates. And since then, in the last 7 years, she has times that by 25 million. So she just thinks that she is on the top of the world and everybody should be looking at her. And that's not the case. They have me laughing. I don't know if you guys know that that Cherise did an interview with Carlos King on his reality podcast. His reality with Carlos King or something that I forget the name of it. But we had Cherise do a recording, do a sit down with Carlos King and Reality with the King. That's the name of the podcast. And she told us that Karen was not supposed to be a part of the show. She didn't even know who Karen was. I think she was introduced to Karen. And she's like, no, she's not my pick. Because if you guys know that Cherise was, part of putting this cast together, like these ladies together, making them part of the team. And she said she was surprised to see Karen filming, on the show. So she's wondering, how did she get here? But according to her, she said, she used the word, she said, Karen bogart her way onto the show. But listen, even though she did it like that, we are happy that she's here because Karen does bring a ton of character to the show. I look forward to seeing her from season to season. She is good for the social. I'm happy she's here. I'm happy she thinks the world about herself. Her ego is sky high, higher than herself. And that's how you're supposed to be. Put yourself up there and live up to it and let everybody else know your standards. Like they say, keep your heads and your heels and your standards high. And that is what Karen is doing. If you want to be my friend, you got to be up here with me. So then we have Karen do like a segment, what they call it, a sizzle, where you get to ask questions. Audience members get to ask questions of the hostess and their guests. And some questions were asked, and then we had Mia get up and ask the questions. What do you do when you tell a friend something and that friend turn around and tell it to your other friends without, you didn't tell them that it was okay to talk to them about it? So Karen's like, yeah, Mia, I know you talking about me. Girl, get over it. Whatever I said was true. It's what you told me is what I said. So don't even think about it. Then she gets in the confessional and like, this ain't your show. I'm doing, this is my show. Don't try to come for my show. So that was fun to watch. But okay, now they finish up. They had the singer, again, the performer, close out the show. And again, production is like on the screen. Production is like, and the budget, again, for the singer is $0. There was no... Honestly, we went through this whole thing. We enjoyed it. And we still don't know what it was about. But the people apparently enjoyed themselves. So as they were leaving, now we had... Ashley before introduced the girl to Candiace, and she's like, oh, okay, so you're the one that was saying that my husband was flirting with you. She's like, yeah, and she goes in to tell her story, and Candiace was like, okay then, and she's looking at her like, yeah, you're not gonna get this energy out of me today. So they left it there. Now as everybody's leaving, getting ready to wrap up to leave, Ashley comes again and says, Candiace, you don't want to talk to my friend regarding Chris? She's like, no, thank you, ma'am. She's like, Ashley, no. Like, the pregnant pause that she put in there, let you know she's serious. And on the third time the friend tried to talk, she's like, you don't want to talk to me? She's like, no, ma'am, I don't. And then she says out loud, keep that Sesame Street character away from me. I don't want to have no conversation with her. And that is where the episode ended. So I'm guessing with the next episode, we're still going to be within the space. I don't know if Candiace is really going to talk to her. But production, let us know what is also coming up. And if they put it in a funny way. So the next episode, as well as, I guess, a little piece of what's left of this. We're going on a girls trip. They're going to Mexico. I think it's Ashley's trip for her birthday. And we're going to see stuff go down between Karen and Cherise. I think Mia and Jacqueline are going to have a fallout. I mean, how is that possible when they were just talking together at in her living room, and now they were sitting together at Karen's event, and now in Mexico they're gonna go back and forth. I'm like, wow. So I'm looking forward to the review in the next episode. It should be really good. But this one, I have to give it to production and the editing team, like I said, because they went in with this episode and I was laughing. Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, that is the recap and the review of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7, episode 12, titled Mic Drop. So until next time, make sure that you take care of yourself and your families. Bye bye.